This Friday edition of the Steve Kane Show is a big one because of all the news that's dropped in the last 24 hours. So we're going to go through it. Now, it is open phones, and you can call in about anything and everything on your mind on Friday's show. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. But the information that I'm going to go over here in the beginning is so big and so huge, you will not want to miss a moment of it, okay? So we're going to go through it all. Our number to call in is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. In fact, it's been 2 weeks today since we got the first declassified information from Tulsi Gabbard. In the last 2 weeks, a lot has come out about the Obama coup. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and we've been covering all of it. But what came out yesterday was the most detailed information, almost a play-by-play, which I'm going to go through with you in a few minutes. Almost a play-by-play of everything these evildoers did. There's records of it. We've got names. In some instances, there's even dates. There's all kinds of things that are coming out in the media that back up everything that has come out. These are the latest dump that came yesterday from Senator Grassley's office was based on CIA Director Radcliffe's declassification, and the detail, and it's from the Durham Report. You know, that Durham investigation went on for like 3 or 4 years. It was very hush-hush the whole time. In fact, we never saw him. Do you remember when they were covering Durham, there was one still photograph they had of him that we would see all the time. It got to the point where I was starting to think that the guy didn't even exist. And then he came out with next to nothing. And now we find out that John Durham's investigation uncovered a whole bunch, and it was completely covered up. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to start going through the details of this after the first break because I need to have some time to get through the first chunk of it. I don't want to have to stop too soon into it. So after the first break, I'm going to start going through the latest releases. As the show goes on, I want to drop some other things, too, in relation to this that must be said. Now, I will take a call or two here early on in the first segment. Then we'll take our first break, and then I'll start going through all the new drop. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Dylan. I'm calling from Canada.
Hey, Canada. What's up?
Have you heard about Donald Trump being held civilly liable for raping a woman?
Yes, a fake allegation.
A fake allegation?
Yeah.
He was found guilty.
No, you're not found guilty. I don't know how things work in Canada, but in the United States,
statute of limitations.
Excuse me, in the United States.
Will you shut the fuck up, you homo?
No, I won't. Okay, first dump of the day out of the Great White North of Canada. Oh my goodness, we'll have to wait for the delay to re-engage. Wow. Canada's angry. I get maybe he's upset at that trade deal. Those are the people that want to recognize Palestine. Isn't that something? Wow, a lot of rage out there. It's an interesting thing over the years. The people that listen to the program that think they hate me, and do you notice that you can't use profanity on the radio? So profanity is not allowed, guys. Do you notice how much rage is out there towards me from white guys? These snowflake types. I'm not quite sure what to make of all that. Now, what is going on here, and we've got the first call of the day about this. Tulsi Gabbard was on with Jesse Waters this week. And Tulsi Gabbard dropped something to Jesse Waters which is amazing. You know, she's the director of national intelligence, so she has access to everything now. And she said to Jesse Waters, Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. If you don't know what Operation Mockingbird is, look it up after 9 o'clock when I'm off the air. You'll be fascinated, but it's about the deep state CIA and the entire deep state's coordination with the media in this country to put false information out there. And what's going on, and it's been happening for about 2 weeks, we've had the Operation Mockingbird in full effect, as well as the seminar calls. And this information that has been coming out, and after the break, which I'm going to take in a couple minutes, I'm going to go through what dropped yesterday. They're doing everything they can do to distract us to talk about other things. Epstein, they want us to talk about Epstein, so we're not talking about this. This guy wants to talk about E. Jean Carroll, which is absurd in Canada, which we're not going to talk about. And what's happening here is it's leftist after leftist, seminar caller after seminar caller, Operation Mockingbird agent after Operation Mockingbird agent, calling this program and trying to get us to talk and discuss anything other than the breaking news that indicts Obama, Hillary Clinton, and many other high-profile people. It's really amazing. If you're on hold, stand by. After the first break, we'll get into the new documents. And I waited till the second segment because I came on a little late, and I didn't want to have to stop in the middle of it. Now, I want to tell you this. If you need tires, go to Friendly Tire in Margate. We have listeners that are in Florida on vacation, and they get tires while they're here. Some of our people that go on our MAGA cruise, they drive to Florida from out of state to go on the cruise. They get tires at Friendly Tire, either on their way here or on the way home. We've had listeners from out of state get 4 new tires, and then they buy a second set to take back home to New York or wherever they live because the prices are so good. You can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire at Friendly Tire in Margate. Now, I know, it's absolutely amazing. And that's on a common size that's on some of the most popular vehicles on the road today. And remember, when I say out the door and on the road, that means when you call Friendly Tire, the price that Friendly Mike gives you, that's it. He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. Keep that in mind. You can get all the name brands you know and love, too. Michelin, Goodyear. I'm a Goodyear guy. One of my cars has run flats. If you have run flats, oh, man. The prices are so low on new run flats over at Friendly Tire in Margate. And, in fact, my new car has run flats. If it weren't for Friendly Tire, I wouldn't have bought that car because run flats can be pretty pricey. Not at Friendly Tire in Margate. If you have a Tesla, he gets you great deals on the Tesla tires, and he also has the special tools to install them, and he does tire repairs too. And don't forget, he has thousands of good used tires in stock as well. Give him a call, 954-977-9445, 954-977-9445. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you want to get a good night's sleep, get yourself a 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. You can get a 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com for 30% off. I've been sleeping on my MyPillow mattress topper, as has my wife next to me, for years. I get about 4 hours of sleep a night, between 4 and 5 hours, depending on what night of the week. What the MyPillow mattress topper does, it turns your entire bed into a big MyPillow. So that 4 to 5 hours of sleep I get every night is deep, well-rested sleep because of that mattress topper. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty. It's machine washable and dryable, and it will change your life, let me tell you. When I was a kid growing up, and I know a lot of you are old enough to remember this, we used to be able to flip mattresses. Remember that? Remember the days when you could flip a mattress? You'd have a mattress, and then, for whatever reason, it got lumpy, lopsided or something, and you'd flip it over, and then it was like having a brand new mattress. Well, years ago, the mattress companies, they got real wise to that. You can't flip mattresses anymore. It's like a box spring underneath, right? So if you've got, and mattresses are expensive. If you have a lumpy, bumpy mattress, a lopsided mattress, or think you need a new mattress, go to mypillow.com. Get your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It comes in every mattress size there is. Use my promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and get 30% off. You can also order by phone, toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE. All right, we are back, guys. Stand by. We're not back on the radio yet, though. We will be back in less than 2 minutes. We'll be back on the radio. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, when we get back, I'm going to start going over the details that were declassified and released to the public yesterday from the Durham Report. Also, don't forget the MyPillow that started it all, less than $20 with my promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at mypillow.com. Pretty good deal. Just over a minute, we will be back. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're on hold, hang in there. We have a lot of anger already on the phone. That guy from Canada, just a lot of rage going on. A lot of rage. Very few rules. One of them is no profanity. Well, you know, liberals are by nature childish. I mean, that's just the way it is. Liberals are not sane. They're completely insane. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Let's get into it. So Chuck Grassley released this. This is information that was declassified by CIA Director John Ratcliffe from the Durham Report. Okay, so this is factual stuff just now made public. It's incredibly detailed. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the calls in a little bit. So Chuck Grassley, Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa, sent out this press release summarizing the release. Okay, so this is from his press release. Here's the headline: newly declassified appendix to Durham Report sheds additional light on Clinton campaign plan to falsely tie Trump to Russia and FBI's failure to investigate. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Republican, Iowa, today, which was yesterday, is making public the formerly classified appendix known as the Durham Annex to John Durham's 2023 Special Counsel Report. The unclassified report and the classified appendix from the entirety of Durham's Special Counsel Report. The Durham Annex contains previously classified information exposing a reported Clinton campaign plan to falsely tie President Donald Trump to Russia. The annex also goes into further detail on matters discussed in the unclassified report. Now, keep in mind, this is treason. This is the first time we have this information, and it is the most detailed we have gotten so far. Okay, here we go. Potential election influence. Let me read the last. The annex goes into further detail on matters discussed in the unclassified report, specifically potential election influence by a foreign government regarding Hillary Clinton, false statements to the Foreign Intelligence Service Court, that's the FISA court, a federal court, renewal applications for Carter Page, the FBI's failure under the leadership of then-Director James Comey to investigate intelligence that the Clinton campaign may have created the Russia collusion hoax. Meanwhile, the Comey-led FBI used the Steele dossier, a Clinton campaign creation, to obtain FISA warrants on Carter Page. Attorney General Pam Bondi Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Kash Patel and intelligent community elements declassified the Durham Annex at Grassley's request. In requesting its declassification, which included declassification of information by the CIA and NSA, Grassley argued the overriding public interest demands the release of the information, and doing so would benefit public transparency and accountability. Now, I know this is wordy, and I don't normally read things on the air, but this is so detailed, and I feel obligated to share it with you in as much detail as possible. Here we go. Based on the Durham Annex, this is Chuck Grassley's release. Based on the Durham Annex, the Obama FBI failed to adequately review and investigate intelligence reports showing the Clinton campaign may have been ginning up the fake Trump-Russia narrative for Clinton's political gain, which was ultimately done through the Steele dossier and other means. These intelligence reports and related records, whether true or false, and by the way, we get new names that have not been connected to this coming up too, were buried for years. History will show that the Obama and Biden administration's law enforcement and intelligence agencies were weaponized against President Trump. This political weaponization has caused critical damage to our institutions and is one of the biggest political scandals and cover-ups in American history. The new Trump administration has a tremendous responsibility to the American people to fix the damage done and to do so with maximum speed and transparency, so says Senator Grassley. For years, this is Grassley I'm quoting here, for years I fought to assemble and publicize all the facts surrounding Durham's investigation, Crossfire Hurricane, and related matters. The American people shouldn't be shortchanged or strung out on matters of significant public interest. And that firm belief fuels my tireless oversight. It's been a refreshing change to see Attorney General Bondi and Director Patel's increased efforts to bring transparency to a very dark corner of the people's government. I hope that attitude continues, and you can be sure my oversight work will continue as well, because there's much work to be done, and that is Grassley's conclusion. Now, I'm going to take a call or two, and then after the bottom of the hour break, Grassley's office has summarized the different things revealed in this and all of these documents. So I'm going to start going through that after the bottom of the hour break. But let's first take a call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Scott. I'm calling from Kansas City.
All right, Scott in Kansas City. What's on your mind?
Well, what I'm trying to think of in my head and model in my head is Republicans as opposed to liberals or Democrats. Would there be great opposition to going after Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama for crimes as opposed to when they went after Nixon for his crimes?
No, there's not. You're gonna find out that there's not going to be a lot of opposition, because now that the facts are coming out, people are shocked. See, today is 2 weeks since this stuff started coming out, and now everything is starting to come together. And the more people know about what Hillary, Obama, and Biden did, there won't be much resistance. No.
What do you think about people like Rachel Maddow and others who vehemently
well, what I'm wondering with Rachel Maddow, I'm wondering if she was a knowing participant in the coup, because her whole show for years was dedicated to the Russian collusion hoax. She was being fed information, so I'm wondering if she was just a useful idiot or a knowing party to the coup. I don't know. Maybe she'll get put under oath and ask that question.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. Also, those people who received what is that prize you get for writing in the United States? I can't think of it right off
the
the top of my
Pulitzer
head.
Prize. Yeah, those should be taken back. Yeah, the Pulitzers. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I've seen almost a god and goddess-like adoration for these people. In 1987, 86, excuse me, I got my years mixed
Iran
up.
Contra?
my last semester in college, I saw Hillary give a speech, and I didn't know that much about her, but I saw an insane worship of this woman that I didn't know existed. I hadn't even seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
I really hadn't.
Yeah.
So I just wondered if this is going to exist to this day.
Oh, no, Hillary's in big trouble here. She does not have presidential immunity, and she's all over this. In fact, when I go through this, you'll see she personally approved of the coup.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I was around back in Arkansas back then, all the way back in the 70s. These people did a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of, never mind, you're being silly, move on.
Well, this isn't Arkansas in the 70s. This is Trump's America in 2025, right? We're in a break. Hey, listen, I got to run. Thanks for the call from Kansas City. Now, it's hurricane season. It's rainy season. If you've got a leak in your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing, he, of course, works on every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal. He can handle a job of any size, whether it's one structure or an HOA with over 300 units or even more. He can handle a job of any size. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. And he has a team of artisans when it comes to roofing. It's amazing. The work that Tom Laporta does is definitely the work of artisans. And those of you that have roofs from Laporta Roofing can understand that, right? Absolutely. But, Tom Laporta has a skill set that is so far beyond being a contractor and being a roofer. And that's his ability to deal with an HOA, a homeowners association. In the state of Florida, 80% of Floridians live in a community with a homeowners association. They are terrible. Homeowners associations are terrible. Some of them are very difficult. They're Nazis. They're corrupt. They're, you know what it is. A lot of them, they just mess with you. They're crazy, sadistic people in many instances. But Tom Laporta has a skill set where he can deal with HOAs. I've never seen anybody like this. He has an expertise in dealing with homeowners associations. He could have a whole nother business just dealing with HOAs for people. He's that good. So if you've got one of those difficult HOAs, or maybe you're on a board and you're trying to get work done in your community and there's others on the board that are got some problems, call Tom Laporta. If you need work done on your roof or need a roof replacement in your HOA, you're afraid of them standing in your way, call Tom Laporta. He can deal with that HOA. Here's his number, and it rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. We'll be right back. If you're a Medicare recipient or about to turn 65, listen up. I want to talk to you about Medicare. Medicare, it's confusing. That's done on purpose, right? You go online, what do you find? More confusion. A lot of people, they try to go it alone, or they deal with someone who doesn't really know what they're talking about, and what happens? It ends up costing them thousands of dollars sometimes each year. And also, they find out maybe their doctors or the medications, they might not be covered either. That's where Chapter comes in. Chapter is the only national Medicare advisor that compares all of the over 24,000 plans out there for you. They'll find the one that's right for you and your budget. And no matter where you are in the United States, Chapter can help. You're going to get answers, you're going to get them fast, and you're going to get them for free. So whether you're on Medicare right now or turning 65 soon, give Chapter a call, 805-754-3033. 805-754-3033. The number's also in the description of the episode. You're going to talk to a real person. They're going to walk you through everything step by step. No gimmicks, just real help. Because the right plan, it can save you thousands. Again, the number 805-754-3033. 3033. 805-754-3033. Get your Medicare questions answered free. 805-754-3033. Your health and your wallet will thank you. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys, in just a couple of minutes on the radio. This is our bottom of the hour break. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to start to go through the beginning of Grassley's summarizing of these declassified documents from the Durham Report, and they are good. They are good. Then I'll take some more calls. I'll sprinkle in some calls as I go through this. And if you're on hold, you hang in there. I'm taking the calls in the order in which they were received, and if you'd like to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. Got about 90 seconds. We'll be back. I saw somebody said something about my headphones. These are this is velvet. It's gray velvet. I could wear these all day, these headphones. That is just the color of the velvet. They're not dirty. It's just how velvet looks. Velvet's kind of out, so a lot of people aren't familiar with velvet, but that's just the velvet. They're clean. These are like the best headphones. They're so comfortable. They're very comfortable on the ears. Velvet, yep. The ones I have at the radio station aren't as comfortable. Velvet. Yes, I would love to have velvet furniture in my house. A velvet couch, velvet chairs. We used to have furniture made out of velvet when I was a kid back in the 70s. In fact, I bought these because they are velvet. And they are comfortable. Almost as comfortable as my MyPillow. Almost. All right, we're back. Callers on hold, you stand by. I'm going to go through more of this report. Okay, so Chuck Grassley, this is, if you're just tuning in, John Ratcliffe, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and Tulsi Gabbard have declassified the findings of the Durham Report, which was a 4-year-long investigation into all the scandals against President Trump in his first term. We got nothing out of that, but Durham found a lot of things. They just classified all of it and locked it away. And now the Trump administration has declassified it. Chuck Grassley has released it. So this next portion, and by the way, this is all on my X, Brian Craig Show on X. If you go to Brian Craig Show on X, all these things are there. This is Chuck Grassley's summarizing of the declassified documents, but there's also a link there to the actual documents if you want to read them. Here's the first part, the Clinton campaign plan. This is all from the Durham Report, just declassified yesterday morning. The Clinton campaign plan. In 2016, the Obama administration obtained intelligence information from a source contained in 2 separate memoranda. One memorandum from January 2016 and another from March 2016. The 2 memoranda describe confidential conversations between then Democrat National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz, one of South Florida's own Congress people. There's a new name. There's a brand new name to the conspiracy. The 2 memoranda, let me go back. The 2 memoranda described confidential conversations between then Democratic National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz and 2 individuals at the Soros Open Society Foundations, Leonard Bernardo and Jeffrey Goldstein. So we've got 3 new names added to the mix. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Soros, and this Bernardo character. Oh, yeah, and Goldstein. So we have 4 new names. In the March 2016 memorandum also included references to the same Obama effort to shut down the Clinton investigation, right, into the servers, the emails, but additionally outlined a plan to falsely connect Trump to Russia. This memo stated in part that the Democrat Party's opposition is focused on discrediting Trump, among other things. The Clinton staff, with support from special services, is preparing scandalous revelations of business relations between Trump and the Russian mafia. So they're just making stuff up. And this is, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. According to the Durham Annex, based on an analysis and translation of the intelligence, FBI analysts believe that at the time, the Special Services in March 2016 memorandum could refer to the FBI and the CIA, or more broadly, to the intelligence and law enforcement communities in the United States. Or, analysts speculated, it could refer to Trump dossier author Christopher Steele. When the Obama administration received the intelligence in March 2016, Fusion GPS was preparing open source opposition research regarding purported ties between Trump and Russians. The research was paid for by the Clinton campaign and the DNC. Notably, this is good stuff, isn't it? The last time I had something like this that was so exciting to read on the air is when the Star Report came out, and we had Monica Lewinsky's deposition we read through. Notably, on April 15th, 2020, Grassley released Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General footnotes showing that Russian intelligence was aware of Steele's anti-Trump research in early July 2016. Further, the FBI had reports in hand in 2017 that the dossier may have Russian sources and was potentially Russian disinformation. On March 31st, 2016, FBI personnel, including then Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, shared the intelligence regarding the potential Clinton campaign plan with high-ranking career officials at the Department of Justice. So we're really getting deep into, with a lot of names and a lot of details on the crime. So like our great President Trump said the other day, Obama may have presidential immunity, but the people around him do not. And we're getting all kinds of names. Hillary Clinton, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, this Bernardo character, McCabe. We're getting all kinds of names. All right, let's take another call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. Long-time listener, but it's been a long time since I've called or even listened. My name's Alex. I'm from Kentucky, but I no longer live in America, so I caught y'all randomly on YouTube.
We didn't. Nobody even noticed. Where do you live now? What country?
I prefer not to
Oh,
say,
please.
but it's
Give me a
overseas.
break. Give me a break.
I live in Asia.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I mean, while we discuss all these things on television and the probes and the Epstein things, what's your opinion of the all-white town that popped up in Arizona that's soon to be spreading into Missouri?
I have no opinion on that.
Why not?
Because I don't care. I'm not
important.
interested. To you, get your own show. You can talk. You can do a whole show on it every day.
I mean,
from your undisclosed location in Asia. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jerome from California.
Hey, Jerome.
Hey, how's it going today? You guys hanging in there with your conspiracy theories and whatnot?
These are declassified documents from the Durham Report. Hillary Clinton emails and such.
Report.
Hillary Clinton email and such.
I feel like I've heard this before, right?
No, you haven't heard any of this before. No, you haven't. It was just declassified yesterday morning. So no, you have not heard any of this before.
Oh, we've not. So this is just made
We've
up
heard the name Hillary Clinton in emails before, but not this.
Oh, so more made up stuff?
No, these are declassified documents held by the FBI, CIA, NSA, and other intelligence agencies. The only thing made up is you.
Right. So now they can't. So now they can't get Obama, though, right? So you're projecting onto Hillary Clinton again?
Not projecting anything. What we're finding in the newly declassified documents that Hillary Clinton was very actively involved in a coup, and she does not have presidential immunity. All right, take care. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, brother?
No, not much.
How you doing, Brian?
Just a coup. We're just exposing a coup. But other than that, not much.
This is amazing. I actually have value that I can add to the conversation, unlike the people in the comments.
Oh yeah, well that's not saying
So-
much. That's not saying that's
You know,
that's not a
you're
very
right.
high
It's
bar.
not saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
I know, right? So, like, I don't know if you noticed, you probably have, like, people calling names, they get loud, they try to discredit people. The thing is, they refuse to stay on topic. Like, they're too prideful to admit fault, and they fight instead of talking. It just doesn't make
Well,
any sense.
what they're trying to do is distract. They're like I have cats, and sometimes I'll get a little toy and I'll distract the cat. They got the shiny keys over here. They're trying to distract people. Epstein, E. Jean Carroll, civilly
that's the
liable
crazy
for
thing
rape.
about
Ding,
this,
ding,
too.
ding, ding, ding. Come on, give me a break.
They got the MAGA guys. I can't remember what is it? Trumpstein, MAGA files. What's crazy about this too? Instead of actually talking, the reason why they don't is because they know they're wrong. Yeah, they don't have any other avenues they can take. They've all failed, and basically what I'm saying is they're weak-minded. They're soggy. They're hate-filled.
Oh, soggy. I
hypocrites
like that. Soggy.
That would rather.
Yes.
I love that soggy. It's like
I've not heard
like
that
a
before.
baby's diaper.
Is
that's
that
about
some
to drip
is that
open,
some Gen Z term I'm not familiar with? Soggy.
I couldn't tell you. I look across the field. I see people with blue hair, lazy, sitting down, overweight, and then they get mad at somebody because they're working out and trying to do something with their life.
That's
it's like
right.
all they can do is try to take value from other people because they can't create their own.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, for example, just like you were saying with the people with the MAGA files, Trump scenes, what's crazy about that is in Biden's own administration, there is a lady who went to Congress and testified in Congress, and I wish I could remember the names of both people, but she was being questioned about the kids. She was in charge of telling kids, hey, this is how you recognize whenever there is child trafficking and sex trafficking and slavery going on.
The way to
Don't let
recognize
anybody do that to you.
recognize that is whenever you have Democrats in power, there's trafficking and slavery going on. Hey, appreciate the call. Take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. The rest of you on hold, stand by. Now today. It is Friday, open phones on Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday, although I've only just begun with this breaking news of the Declassified Durham Report, so I'm going to continue to go through that. And today is also a special day. It's August 1st. Today is the first day of the Steve Kane Show being on the air for 49 years starting today. That's right. Isn't that crazy? 49 years. It's hard to believe, but it's true. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I want to ask you this. Do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? If so, get ready to write down this number, okay? Because Lighthouse Medical, they have a treatment for neuropathy that works and a treatment that lasts. Steve had every symptom of neuropathy that there is. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet, sometimes no feeling at all, dizziness, all these things. It really makes life very difficult to live. It is living torture neuropathy. 3 years ago, Steve was treated for his neuropathy symptoms by Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. They rid him of all his neuropathy symptoms. And here he is, 3 years later, they have not returned. So Lighthouse Medical has a treatment for neuropathy, a treatment that works, and a treatment that lasts. Also, they can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. They have patients all over America that they have helped and rid of their neuropathy symptoms too. Well, I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. That way you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back. American Welder, thank you so much for that super chat. Very much appreciated. going to continue to go through this when we get back because, I mean, we're just getting a wealth of information. The Grassley release is spectacular. Oh, man. Yep, make sure you subscribe if you are new. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh, Hillary's in big trouble. Hillary is in big, big trouble. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. And don't forget, guys, you know, I have updated I reformatted my podcast a few weeks back. This is, I guess, a month ago now, where I'm now podcasting live here on my YouTube channel in the afternoons, taking live calls just like I do here in the morning. So if you are subscribed, got that notification bell clicked, you'll get the notification when I go live on my podcast. Now, what I do after it's the podcast is done, I do take the podcast and upload it to all the podcast platforms. So the Brian Craig Show podcast is available on all podcast platforms, all of them. And even when a new one springs up, they add me to it. So the podcast is still available on all the podcast platforms, but I'm originating it here live. And if you become a Patreon supporter, you have access to commercial-free editions of my podcast. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description of the video. Become a Patreon supporter and get all my podcast commercial-free as well. Yep, the link is in the description. Okay, less than a minute. We'll be back. Welcome back. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to get back to this Durham Report, declassified information from Senator Chuck Grassley's office. It's amazing. This is, you know, when I'm doing my show prep, you got to decide how to do things. And when I could just talk about it and take calls, or I could go through this report that Senator Grassley released. And I'm going through the report. I think that's the best way to do it. Not only do we get all the information out there, I find that this is just fascinating, don't you? This is fascinating stuff, because what we have here, Durham found out everything and the deep state classified it. And this reads like a novel. It's like a John Grisham novel is how it reads. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic with my hand. I'm so excited. But this, you know, the last time I did this was when the Starr report came out and we had Lewinsky's testimony and everything. And Steve and I, we didn't have the social media like we have now. The internet was still new. Steve and I printed the whole thing up. It was hundreds of pages. And the Lewinsky stuff, we just read through it. And we took turns reading it. It was fascinating. Well, that's what this is like to me. This is fantastic. Okay, so back to this. And we've gotten a whole bunch of new names. Okay, this is the section. This is all from Chuck Grassley. The next section, FBI receipt of additional intelligence information on the Clinton campaign plan. Now, the Clinton campaign plan was, of course, to smear President Trump with this Russia collusion nonsense. Okay, back to this. The Durham Annex describes that in July 2016, the FBI received additional intelligence regarding a possible Clinton campaign plan, including documents with purported emails allegedly sent by Leonard Bernardo, senior vice president of Soros's Open Society Foundations. The intelligence included data providing specifically on the plan and the attempt to smear then-candidate Donald Trump by falsely linking him to Russia, while apparently counting on the support of the FBI to open up an investigation. The intelligence the FBI received also included information and analysis from purported Leonard Bernardo's emails that stated, in part, during the first stage of the campaign, due to lack of direct evidence, it was decided to disseminate the necessary information through the FBI-affiliated technical structures. That sounds like Operation Mockingbird. I'm not sure what that means. In particular, the CrowdStrike and Threat Connect companies, from where the information would then be disseminated through leading U.S. publications. Operation Mockingbird. And this is what Tulsi was talking about on Jesse Waters the other night, that Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. This is Operation Mockingbird. She used those words, Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. Back to the Grassley report here. The media analysis on the DNC hacking appears solid, Julie says, who was the Clinton campaign advisor. It will be a long-term affair to demonize Putin and Trump. Now it is good for a post-convention bounce. Oh, boy. Later, the FBI will put more oil into the fire. Now, keep in mind, the FBI hasn't even investigated anything yet, but they already have their assurances to cooperate with the Clinton campaign to smear the president. The media in an... now I already read that part. Hold on. Next line. Now, listen to this. Hillary Rodham Clinton approved campaign advisor Julie's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. This should distract people from her own missing emails. So Hillary Clinton and her campaign advisor Julie, who's been, we know who Julie is. I'll get to that later in the show. Julie made this thing up, just made it up like creative writing class. And Hillary said, oh, that's a great idea. Run with that. The point is making the Russian play a U.S. domestic issue. In absence of direct evidence, CrowdStrike and Threat Connect will supply the media. The CRU, that's the Russian main intelligence directive, will hopefully carry on to give more facts. Oh, my goodness. These people, they got records of everything. Durham found everything. It's amazing. And then they classified it and didn't release it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Lenny from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Lenny. Exciting day.
My God. Oh, I'm usually on way before you start at 6, and I'm a devout Christian, and I just can't believe your first call. Aren't you supposed to have like a 7-second delay? And it was almost like instantaneously that he came out with that. Yeah,
I know. I know. We wear the dump system out, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm so blown away. Patience is a virtue. You touched on something. Listen, I'm going to be 72. You brought up about, Clinton, and I believe what I see, not what I believe what you say, and that's why I've listened to you.
Well, Lenny, this isn't me saying. I am reading from the declassified documents from the Durham Report that were just declassified and released to the public yesterday. So these aren't. I'm just reading. I haven't even really given an opinion, but this is just amazing.
I want to ask you a question. You brought up, the Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, the TNA report from 1998. I was 48 years old, and the Associated Press at that time, because when you brought that up, you brought it up a couple of times. I said, you know what? Because I printed, and I have it in front of me, and I sat at my printer, and it must be several hundred pages.
Yeah.
And it starts, the content of the following materials are verbatim as forward by the Office of the Independent Counsel.
Well,
The
I don't want to get
conversation
back in. I don't want to get back into Lewinsky and stuff.
No. My question is, do you think this is of any value? Is this worth anything?
Is what worth anything? This Durham report? Yeah, because if you're listening to what I'm going over today, John Durham in Trump's first term not only found out everything with proof and evidence, okay, it's documented as you hear me going through it, step by step on how the coup happened, and there's a whole bunch of new names that have come up and everything. Yeah, this is amazing. These are the people that are going to be indicted.
Well, in this, the Monica Lewinsky.
No, we're not talking. All right, Lenny, we're not talking about Lewinsky. Okay. Now, after the top of the hour, I'll take some more calls, and we've only just begun with the declassified Durham report information. If you'd like to call in, the number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. See, what we're getting here, that is, I'm waiting for the calls to start saying, oh, we know all this. We've known all this for years. No, we have not. We know they undermined the president. That's true. But what we did not know was the details. Remember, this is a detailed, step-by-step, true crime, real-life story that is being told from beginning to end about what they did to the president, how they did it, and in order, and who was involved every step of the way. We have never gotten these details. This is all brand new information. And I'm pretty excited about it, and I know you guys are too. And you notice the liberals want to talk about anything other, and that's because they know how bad it is. I mean, they're in big trouble. Now, I do want to tell you guys about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. The classic MyPillow that started it all is less than $20 with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. And less than $20. Now, remember, over a decade ago is when I got my first MyPillow. The same MyPillow, I paid $65 for it. But since all these big stores like Walmart and Kohl's and others and QVC have kicked out MyPillow, Mike Lindell is offering with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at MyPillow.com, these great deals. These are the less than wholesale prices. These are what I refer to as the Walmart buyer prices that you're getting. That's why the prices are so good. And the MyPillow that started it all, the original MyPillow, less than $20. Get it. You'll sleep better than you've ever slept. That interlocking fill that's inside that Mike Lindell invented, it keeps your head and neck in place all night so you're not tossing and turning. Comes with a 10-year warranty. It's machine washable and dryable. And like everything Mike Lindell makes, it's a very high quality. And it's a great deal. So the MyPillow is less than $20. Pretty good deal. With our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at MyPillow.com. Order yours. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go, and I've only just scratched the surface of this. But I'll do a quick just catch up when I get back after the top for people that are just tuning in. But then I'm going to jump right in and continue with the declassified information from the Durham report that was dropped yesterday. Those of you on hold, you stand by. And if you want to call in, please do. It is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. So you can call in about any and everything on your mind. But I'm sticking to this because I'm not done with it. And it's very good. I feel a public service obligation to share this. And I'm going to be doing that until I'm done with it. Okay? And we've only just begun. All right. It is Friday, the first day of August, and you're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name's Brian Craig. We'll be back after our top-of-the-hour break. I know this is spectacular. Welcome, everyone. Now to the MAGA people in the audience, is this not fascinating stuff? I'm just blown away at the detail. He found everything, John Durham, everything. It's amazing how our phones have replaced our laptops, huh? It is. Sadly, this is all true. I wish it wasn't, but it's true. Yeah, it's all true. It's not a conspiracy. And by the way, a conspiracy does not mean something's not true. There definitely was a conspiracy of Hillary Clinton and the Obamas and the Bidens and all these others, the FBI. They did conspire. So it is a conspiracy, but a lot of liberals think that conspiracy means something's not true. And that is not the case. Well, if you don't care, go watch something else on YouTube. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in just over a minute. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk, obviously. This is a top of the hour break at the radio station. Traffic, weather, and all that stuff. Less than a minute, we'll be back. Hey, Pepsi. Let me show everybody. This is Pepsi. Say hi, Pepsi. I just kind of woke Pepsi up. All right. I'll put you back. There you go. All right, here we go. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. If you missed the first hour, you've missed a lot. You got to go back and listen to it. But we got a lot more to cover. Yesterday, the classified Durham report, declassified by the Trump CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel at the FBI, and Senator Chuck Grassley, was released. And what we found out that John Durham, during his 4-year investigation in Trump's first term, found out everything on the coup against Trump, and these evildoers classified it, didn't let us know about it. And I've been going through the summarizing of it, and we're getting a play-by-play on the coup against President Trump. We got a lot of new names that have come up, and found out that Hillary Clinton directing everything. I'm going to take a call or two, then we're going to get back to the report, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Coleman. And I'm from Florida.
All right.
I like my balls licked.
Okay, second dump of the day. That's fine with me. See, what you're getting from, that's 2 dumps today. 2 dumps. What you're getting from the left is just every liberal caller I've taken for the last hour is trying to distract us away from what we're talking about. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Let me shout out something weird. It's not going to work. Let me get back to this while we're waiting for the delay to re-engage. This is from Chuck Grassley's summarizing of the Durham Report declassified files. The next section, assessment of authenticity of the Bernardo emails intelligence. Listen to this. The Durham Annex states analysts and officers who Durham's team interviewed and who were well versed in the sensitive intelligence collection stated that their best assessment was that the Bernardo emails were likely authentic. Durham's team conducted investigative work to inform their assessment per the Durham Annex. The Clinton campaign might have wanted or expected the FBI or other agencies to aid that effort, put more oil into the fire by commencing a formal investigation of the DNC hack. Communications the Durham team reviewed provided additional support that the Clinton campaign was engaged in a plan to tie Trump to Russia and that the campaign wanted or expected the office of the vice president, that'd be Joe Biden at the time, the FBI or other parts of the intelligence community, such as the State Department's Bureau of Intelligence and Research, to aid that effort. The Durham Annex states the office's best assessment is that the emails that purport to be from Bernardo were ultimately a composite of several emails that were obtained through Russian intelligence hacking of the U.S.-based think tanks, including the Soros's Open Society Foundation, the Carnegie Endowment, and others. The Durham Annex concludes, it is a logical deduction Julie Ann Smith was, at minimum, this is from she's the advisor to Hillary Clinton, playing a role in the Clinton campaign's efforts to tie Trump to Russia, and that the communications it reviewed certainly lends at least some credence that such a plan existed. Now, the next section, the Obama-Biden administration's response to the intelligence on the Clinton campaign. Well, let's take a call or two before we get to that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dr. Ron, Delray Beach.
Hey, what's up?
First-time caller. I've only been listening a couple of months. Happy anniversary. This is a positive phone call. I'm enjoying your show, and keep nailing the idiots that call you.
Yeah, a lot of them need a doctor. You don't happen to be a psychiatrist.
No, I'm retired chiropractor.
Oh, okay. I love chiropractors. Dr. Appleton's changed my life. Oh, yeah. Dr. Appleton's changed my life. Well, I'll tell you, this information, this information is just phenomenal. I mean, we are getting this. It's like this is like a book on tape I'm doing today. We are getting a really breakdown in exciting detail of the entire plot against President Trump with the Russian collusion hoax. And it's amazing that how many people were involved. We got some new names like Debbie Wasserman Schultz and others, but that they kept records of everything. I can't wait for the charges. Who keeps records of their crimes?
I was a Republican, and I voted for Trump, and I'm becoming a MAGA Trumper.
Good for you.
The more they find of what they tried to do and we're doing to him, it just throws me on his side of the line all the time.
Yeah, and that's true with a lot of people over the last since really they shot the president in Butler. A lot of people have been waking up over the last year or so and saying, you know what, they really are trying to set this guy up. And a lot of people like you that maybe were skeptical or didn't support Trump or are waking up to say, wow, this is insane. It's scary. Remember what President Trump said, they're not doing this to me, they're doing it to you. It's true. That's a true statement.
I started really siding with him after he got shot because when I was in the Army, I took a bullet to the face, tracer round, and I just everything just went clear as day, even better.
Really? What do you mean? When you got what was it about
love
that?
Love of life.
Yeah.
A near-death experience is very, very sobering.
Where were you serving when you were shot?
I was in Fort Dix, New Jersey, but that's
you got shot in New
story.
Jersey? Oh my goodness! Friendly fire, huh? Oh my goodness! Hey, do you get
a sniper is a sniper, and only one of us is here today.
That's hey, there you go. No, getting shot. I mean, did it hurt? When you say you got shot by a tracer in the face, like where in the face? How'd you get hit? How'd you get hit?
The right cheek.
Really? Did it just graze you, or did it go through?
Yeah. Oh, it grazed me.
What did it feel like? Do you remember what it felt like?
Every minute of every day, I remember everything.
What did it feel like? What did it feel like?
Shock. It stops you in your tracks for a split second, and I wasn't going to shoot him back, but he went to shoot me again.
Oh, you shot him back? Wait a minute. So there was like a firefight between you and another soldier in New Jersey? What the heck happened there?
I don't know. They wouldn't let me go see the guy I shot.
Oh, so you took him out?
Yes.
Was it a soldier?
I don't know.
Wow.
What it was. Who he was.
That's something.
He went to shoot me a second time, and that's when I opened fire.
Wow. Well, you did what you had to do. But the reason I ask you about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It still bothers me today.
Yeah, sure, I get it. But, if you didn't do what you did, you wouldn't be talking to me right now, maybe, So you got to...
That's right.
And the thing about... The reason I asked you how it felt, though, is I hear a lot of these Trump haters say, oh, he just got shot in the ear. That's no big deal. And it not only does it shock you and you have a life and death experience, but it hurts like my dad got shot in the leg in Vietnam by an AK-47. Now, that wasn't a graze. He's still got the bullet in him. And he told me that it felt like getting shot felt like getting hit with a metal baseball bat over and over and over again. And it's very painful. Yeah. And for President Trump to get shot like that in the ear, for him to be able to get up, and he wanted to continue his speech, and he did speak to us, that takes a lot of guts to get up in an open-air place like that after you've been shot and you don't know what's going on yet.
And he stood up and thanked all of us that voted for him.
Yep. And said, fight, fight, fight. That's right.
Yep.
Well, listen, welcome to the show, and it's good to hear from you. Call me again sometime. You're a good caller.
Thank you. I know only one call a day, so it'll be next week.
Okay, that's good. That's
great
good.
show. Thank you.
All right, take care. Nice guy, huh? But it sounds like an interesting story. Maybe he'll reveal more on his next call. Yesterday, Jupiter Joe Thomas was in studio, and for a while we've been talking about this annuity where you get a 10% bonus, which is good. That means you make 10% on your money before you leave Joe Thomas's office. But there's a new annuity he was telling me about yesterday with a 16% bonus. It's pretty amazing, right? So 16%. So I'm not very good with the math, so I'm going to do the easy math. So if you invest $100,000, you make $16,000 before you leave the office. That's something. So you can do the math if you want to do a smaller amount, right? Isn't that something? That's a great deal. Give him a call. I'm not a gambler. I don't like to risk money. I like things that are safe, and annuities are 100% safe. Your money's never at risk, and you're guaranteed an income stream for the rest of your life. It's a no-risk retirement plan. Give him a call. Joe Thomas offers free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. And after that free phone consultation, Joe Thomas is going to put together a custom proposal, not a cookie cutter, a custom proposal for you based on that conversation, that consultation, your situation, your needs, your goals. Give them a call, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Turn your money into guaranteed income for life. You can also find his number on his website, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back. All right, we'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys. We'll be back in about 1 minute. What an exciting day. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and like the video and share the program on your socials if you don't mind. Less than a minute, we'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go through the next section, then I'll take another call or two. This is great stuff. I mean, this is fascinating. Whoever wrote this press release should write all the releases for everybody on this, because they really put it together in a good chronological way. All right, here we go. We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. Back to the Declassified Durham Report. And I'm not going to do any recap. I'm just going to continue to the next section or so, and then I'll take another call or two. The next section, the Obama-Biden administration's response to intelligence on the Clinton campaign plan. Now, the Clinton campaign plan, according to these new declassified documents from the Durham Report, just declassified yesterday, show that Hillary Clinton and this Julie chick, that's an advisor of hers, just made up this whole Russia collusion thing. They just made it up, and then they got their friends to go along with it. All right, back to this. According to the Durham Annex, following the receipt of this intelligence, multiple high-ranking U.S. officials were briefed on the matter, including an August 3rd, 2016 briefing in the White House by CIA Director John Brennan to President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, FBI Director Comey, among others, as described in Durham's unclassified report. Ultimately, the CIA sent the FBI an investigative referral that included the purported Clinton campaign plan. In 2017, the CIA prepared a written assessment of the authenticity and veracity of the above-referenced intelligence. The CIA stated that it did not assess that the above memoranda or hacked U.S. communications to be the product of Russian fabrications. The Durham Annex notes that the FBI was fully alerted to the possibility that at least some of the information it was receiving about the Trump campaign might have its origin either with the Clinton campaign or its supporters, or alternately was the product of Russian disinformation. So they were told right there, and they knew that it was all fake. The Durham Annex concludes in part that despite this awareness, the FBI appears to have dismissed the intelligence information as not credible without any investigative steps actually having been taken to either corroborate or disprove the allegations. Holy smokes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Al from Illinois.
Okay.
Brian, I had a question about the Durham Annex. I try to keep up on this stuff as best I can, but I'm a little confused about, was that part of the original Durham report? How did they come across it?
This is all the stuff from the Durham report. He found out everything, right? He caught them all, but they classified it top secret and then locked it away and safes so no one saw it. And now it was declassified yesterday.
Oh, okay. And when it comes to the stuff that was in the burn bags, do we know anything about that material yet?
We don't have those. That might be some of this, but that hasn't all been released. The burn bags that Kash Patel found involved Comey's plot and his minions. Yeah. And you know, the thing about I've got an article I might get to later that gives some detail on it, but the thing about the burn bags, what I'm wondering, because a lot of people say, why'd they leave all this stuff around? And my guess is when Trump was coming back in with his staff in this second term, they were destroying a lot of documents and they couldn't burn them fast enough. So these things that Kash found in the burn bags, they just ran out of time and couldn't burn them.
I saw that Kash put out a note that said that the people who were involved in burning the stuff need to come clean right away, or they're in even more trouble. So
that's right. I mean, this is this fantastical? I mean, it's very detailed. It's like isn't this like a novel?
Yeah, it's more bizarre than any novel I've ever read.
Because it's real. That, you know, this really happened. Yeah. This isn't in the imagination of John Grisham. This really happened.
It sure is. I really appreciate you taking my call.
All right, take care. Good talking to a sane person. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is James from Delray. How you doing today?
All right, James. What's up?
Hey, listen, I'm so disgusted with this country. I mean, you know what? I really wouldn't be surprised if Bill Barr's name pops in up there somewhere.
You know what I'm waiting for? Pence's connection.
You know,
I'm waiting for Pence's connection.
Sorry?
I'm waiting for Vice President Pence's connection to pop up, since he was responsible in getting Flynn fired.
Without a doubt. I mean, but Barr said there's no investigation needed. There was no collusion.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You
brought up you made a good point. I haven't heard anybody make that point yet. This report was given to Barr, Trump's attorney general, and he said there was nothing to see here. He had access to all of this then. How could he say that? So he's part of the coup conspirators, is what you're saying.
He's part of it.
Absolutely.
I bet he's part of it.
Absolutely.
Hey, all right. Have a great day. Hey, have a great day, and the hell with all the liberals.
That's right. That's right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
You know what I found out through all of this, Brian? That the Democrats are so sad. They have no moral compass. They believe the ends justify the means. They don't care. They literally don't care. They put in office, okay? Bill Clinton, I'm going to go that far back. The low-class trailer park white garbage. Him and his fake wife, who was manipulating the American people from the time he was in the governor's house all the way to the White House, and then actually Secretary of State. Remember Benghazi? What difference does it make?
Yeah.
She failed on that, but at the same time, she really didn't fail because behind the American people's back, she was making a fortune selling us out down the river with uranium.
Mm-hmm.
And these people, and the media right in line, and all that we heard was from people like you and people like me, you're all a bunch of cult people. You believe in this fake MAGA. And they told us all this garbage. This is conspiracy theory. And now they're calling you up saying, this is not new news.
Oh, this is all news.
The only one that actually...
All news.
Yeah, the only one that stuck up for us was Fox News against the rest of the world. And Fox News at the time was really the only one reporting. And that, you know what they would say to you? You must listen to Fox News.
Yeah.
These people are sick.
Well, you know, a couple of calls ago, I got a call from the retired doctor that got shot in the Army in New Jersey. And he was not a Trump guy. And he said when they shot Trump, he started to realize it's all true. You know, and as more of this comes out, it's been 2 weeks today that Tulsi released the first documents that were declassified. And if you notice, you know, President Trump's a media expert, a PR expert. And I told you guys they would release things in beats. And this Chuck Grassley, which I got one more section I'm going to go through after the bottom of the hour break, but this Chuck Grassley Durham report, it fits perfectly with everything Tulsi's released so far, and it's an entire narrative of everything they did to this country and to our president.
Our country. Look what's happened over since Obama. Go on the foreign policy. The racial problems in this country all goes back to all of this.
Yeah.
It all goes back to this. They are poison. And you Democrats out there, not for nothing, why don't you just admit we made a major mistake and were duped? We were suckered into believing all of this by all the fake media and fake politicians, and they still were
and if you remember, Richard Nixon was run out of office by Republicans. Okay, not the Democrats. So the I don't think he should have left office, Nixon. But I was a baby at the time. I was. But the point is, if the Democrats stood up and said this was wrong and demanded justice, they might get their party back.
Yeah, Brian, not for nothing, but they went after Nixon because they were trying to see what the McGovern campaign was all about. Mm-hmm. They were working to get the information.
Yeah.
They were not planting fake information.
No.
This has been a big scam on the American people. The biggest scam in the history of this country.
Time. This is the biggest political scandal in the history of the United States by far. All right, Richard, I got to run.
I'm aggravated, but
yeah, you should be. I got to run. Now, I want to ask you this question: are you in pain? Simple question. Are you in pain? If you are, oh man, I used to be in pain. Before Dr. Appleton rid me of my arthritis and my hand and my knee pain, it was tough. The pain sometimes in my knee pain, which was from a car accident years ago that he rid me of, that pain was so bad that sometimes I would be at home and I would just want to go to sleep. Any of you have pain that bad? The arthritis pain in my hand that Dr. Appleton rid me of with his laser wave pain treatment, that pain was so bad and so sharp, it was the worst. And when I was growing up, I remember having grandparents that had arthritis in their fingers and their knuckles. And I remember I've always cracked my knuckles, and I just did. And when I was growing up, I remember my grandparents always said, don't crack your knuckles, you'll have arthritis like me. And when I had this pain in my hand, I didn't know it was arthritis. I didn't know what it was. I thought I jammed my fingers, when you're playing basketball, you jam your fingers. I thought I did that. And I went to Dr. Appleton. He gave me an examination. He said, Brian, you've got arthritis. And I was devastated. I said, oh, man, I'm done. I'm done. He says, no, the laser treats arthritis pain. And it was bad. The pain was so bad, I was almost in tears from the pain from the arthritis. Arthritis is bad. And I'm pain-free now. The arthritis pain's gone. Thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are never necessary, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you want to get a good night's sleep, get yourself a 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. You know, you can get a 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at MyPillow.com for 30% off. I've been sleeping on my MyPillow mattress topper, as has my wife next to me, for years. I get about 4 hours of sleep a night, between 4 and 5 hours, depending on what night of the week. You know, what the MyPillow mattress topper does, it turns your entire bed into a big MyPillow. So that 4 to 5 hours of sleep I get every night is deep, well-rested sleep because of that mattress topper. You know, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty. It's machine washable and dryable, and it will change your life, let me tell you. You know, when I was a kid growing up, and I know a lot of you are old enough to remember this, you used to be able to flip mattresses. Remember that? Remember the days when you could flip a mattress? You'd have a mattress, and then, you know, for whatever reason, it got lumpy, lopsided or something, and you'd flip it over, and then it was like having a brand new mattress. Well, years ago, the mattress companies, they got real wise to that. You can't flip mattresses anymore. It's like a box spring underneath, right? So if you've got, and mattresses are expensive. If you have a lumpy, bumpy mattress, a lopsided mattress, or think you need a new mattress, go to MyPillow.com. Get your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It comes in every mattress size there is. Use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and get 30% off. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, we will be back in less than 2 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm going to go through the last part of the Declassified Durham Report. Then I'll take some more calls. The next section, the threat of foreign election influence and assessment in FISA renewal applications. I remember the FISA court, those are federal courts overseen with the chief FISA judge, as Chief Justice John Roberts is the chief FISA judge. And remember, the FISA warrants are what they use to get the wiretaps on Trump Tower. And it's a federal court, okay? As the unclassified Durham report noted, beginning in late 2014, the FBI learned from a well-placed confidential human source that a foreign government was planning to send an individual to contribute to Clinton's anticipated presidential campaign as a way to gain influence with Clinton should she win the presidency. The Durham Annex notes that non-U.S. person was directly tasked by the leader of a foreign government with facilitating this plan, but had indicated plans to travel to the U.S. in late 2014. At the time, an FBI field office sought expedited FISA authorization to begin coverage of this individual as soon as he or she arrived in the United States. However, as known from the unclassified Durham report, the FISA application lingered because everyone was super more careful and scared with the big name Clinton involved. Ultimately, after 4 months, the FISA authority was authorized following a commitment that Clinton and others targeted by the foreign government would receive defensive briefings. The remainder of the Durham Annex reinforces that the FBI provided false and misleading information to the FISA court in pursuit of FISA renewals, and at least one confidential human source lied to the handler. See, this is how they got the warrant to spy on Trump Tower. The information in the Durham Annex, taken together with previously released details in the unclassified report, reinforced the FBI's treatment of Trump versus Clinton. Despite lacking probable cause and relying on false information, the FBI secured a FISA warrant and multiple renewals to surveil Carter Page and did not provide Trump a defensive briefing equivalent to Clinton's briefings. So this Durham declassification just walked us through, it took me 90 minutes to get through it, but just walked us through everything in detail with a bunch of new names like Debbie Wasserman Schultz and a few others that were involved in the coup against the president. This is amazing. All right, let's take some calls. I got goosebumps. This is crazy stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dave from Detroit. Do you agree with Nancy Pelosi and Ortez and Schumer making money off stock trades about the, are you okay with that?
I don't know. The very vague question. When I hear agree with Pelosi or AOC, I'm already suspicious. I don't know. I don't know. I have no opinion.
What do you mean you have no opinion?
I didn't even understand your question. You asked a vague question that really was kind of thoughtless. You got to be more specific.
Are you okay with Congress people and Senate people making money off stock trades about information they know?
What I'm opposed to is what Pelosi has done. Okay, Pelosi. What people believe Pelosi does is that her and her scummy husband find companies where the stocks are like nothing, right? And then they buy the stocks, and then they pass some government legislation or give a government deal that makes that stock more valuable. Now, I'm opposed to that. Just say what you want to say. Tell me. I know you have Trump or some Republican that's done something, and you're trying to walk me down a garden path so you can be like, I gotcha. That's not going to happen. Just say what you're trying to get to and stop being a talk show host. You're making a fool out of yourself.
I just asked you a simple question.
No, you think you're walking me down some garden path. You're not going to walk me down Jack. Just say what you want to say. Just say what you want to say. Accuse who you want to accuse.
I'm actually not accusing. I just want to know because there's a bill that has been proposed to stop Congress, Senate, Vice President, and President from making stock trades.
No, I don't think it does not involve the president. The bill I heard, but regardless of that, no. In fact, I heard one of the Republicans the other day. I can't remember which one it was. Said that it does not involve the president, and then it was somebody else. I can't. Maybe it might have been Josh Hawley. I can't remember. I heard someone say the other day it doesn't cover the president, and there was another office holder. I can't remember.
No, the bill.
Why don't you get to the bottom? Why don't you just get to the chase, where you thought you were going to have this big gotcha moment that you walked me down, and then we'll talk about that. I'm getting bored with you.
There's no gotcha moment. I'm just proposing that, yes, it's proposed that President, Vice President, Senate, House, and their
okay, all right. Get your thoughts together. After he realized he wasn't going to walk me down a garden path, he didn't know where to go because he had this whole plan in his mind. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yes.
Hi, Brian. This is Sandra from Delray.
Hey, Sandra. What's up?
I'm calling to remark about your earlier remark about 15 minutes ago when you said, who would record their crimes? Who would be crazy enough to... The Nazis recorded every single thing they did.
But unless there's been some documents found, there's no document with Hitler's signature authorizing the extermination of the Jews.
Oh, yes, he was smart.
Yeah,
he was smart
exactly.
About that.
Exactly. So as crazy as Hitler was,
who would do that?
Yeah.
Well, the Nazis did it, so they're calling us Nazis. They're the Nazis.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Brian.
All right, take care. Well, yeah, all right. Well, and the Nazis were socialists. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
I'd like to... thank you for spending the time to explain this to everybody, the Durham Report, and grasp these information, because a lot of people are not knowing what's going on. But because it's Open Line Friday, I'd like to give everybody a little warning. I saw the new Superman movie, and what a damn joke. It was one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh, man. They should be embarrassed. How could they waste their money? I think they ruined the whole idea.
What made it so bad?
Well, besides being ridiculously stupid with some of this monster that all of a sudden grows to tremendous, but then they're talking about the illegals, the Superman's an illegal. Oh, it was ridiculous.
Listen. My Superman, of course, is Christopher Reeve and George Reeves. George Reeves. Those are the Supermen. This thing they're doing. First off, this Superman. You're supposed to be handsome when you're Superman. He looks kind of not that, and it's just, and then and I saw the clip where Supergirl is a drunken party girl at the end, and
Oh man, yeah. I don't know what they were thinking, but they need to get
what they're thinking is they think that they're going to put together a Super Friends Justice League movie like the Marvel universe. And that's just not gonna happen. I mean,
it certainly turned me off, man. I was like, I first started watching. I said, oh, maybe it's not getting better. And then in the middle of it,
when it's free, like on HBO Max or something, I might watch it. But I have no interest in watching it.
Don't waste your time in anything but that.
I have not been to a movie theater since like 2019.
Yeah, I know that. I really drove myself. Really, everything's online now. Mm-hmm. You can watch it online.
It comes online so quick. Anyway, all right. So don't see this new Superman movie. It sucks. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention is, through the coastal weight loss secrets, you're now a thin person, and now the Democrats are saying if you're thin and white, you're a racist. So they really went off.
Well, they were telling me I was racist before I lost weight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now everybody who's white and thin is a race. They can't come up with anything better than that. That's how desperate. Yeah. That's how desperate they are.
Your perfect call, because you led me into my spot for coastal weight loss secrets. So I appreciate that, Doug. All right, take care. This weekend I'm going to go out and buy some new pants at American Eagle Outfitter, and it's because I'm holding my pants up now, and as I was losing weight, because I keep everything, I was wearing old clothes that were over 10 years old and things. And I've lost so much weight. Even the clothes from 10, 15 years ago, the pants I have way at the back of the closet, they don't fit me anymore either. They're just too loose. Everything's fallen off of my body. I don't know what my waist size is. I have no idea. I'm going to find out. But Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I lost all this weight without any exercise, without starving myself, eating normal foods I would normally eat, and without any prescription medications. Or sometimes people go and get injections to lose weight. I do that. Go to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And it's so good because now that I don't want to lose any more weight, I just want to maintain where I'm at. And because I didn't have these big lifestyle changes, the maintaining where I'm at is easy to do without effort. I haven't gained back an ounce. Give them a call. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. We'll be back in 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. How exciting. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is Friday. Friday is always open phones on the program. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Friday's show, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the stories and the topics that we bring up. Okay, Monday through Thursday, you got to call in about what we talk about. But on Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. But I've spent the last 1 hour and 50 minutes breaking the biggest political scandal that's come out in a report form since the Star Report was released back in the 90s. And it is something else. Holy smokes. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you guys missed out. Now, the rest of you on hold, stand by. If you missed the first hour and 50 minutes of the program, after the show, you want to go back and re-listen to this program. Chuck Grass, and all this information I've gone over, I put it on my X. When you're releasing information like they're doing, they didn't just give us a big document dump. It's been 2 weeks today since Tulsi Gabbard declassified the first information that she released. And what Grassley released, this guy's amazing. I don't know who's on his staff and who helped him do this, but it's spectacular. They have released everything in a very detailed narrative. So and it fits right in one like a beat from the first release to this. And this is, all this talk that Bondi, Cash, and Bongino haven't been doing their job, it seems to me they have been. This release is in large part to Cash Patel's doing as well. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Brian. Chris from Pompano.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, all the information that you just shared this morning, obviously, as it was happening live and up close and personal, we all knew, anybody with half a brain, that it was clearly desperate efforts to, have the Democrats continue their little machine.
Yeah, but see, what we have here is we know that they went after Trump with false information. What we have is more information than the human mind can process. Came out yesterday. First off, John Durham's investigation, which was 3 or 4 years long during Trump's first term, he found out everything in detail. Yep. He gave it to Trump's Attorney General, Barr, who said there's nothing to see here, and then he classified everything top secret, and they locked it away in a safe. And what we have here are the specific details, almost minute by minute, of how they did it when the meetings happen, and we got a lot of new names. And we even have the conversation that Hillary had with her advisor when they made up the whole story. We got the new names like Debbie Wasserman Schultz involved, the Soros element to it, everything. This is nothing we've known before.
Exactly, and like you said, we kind of obviously we kind of knew what they were up to, but now we have all the details and evidence, as everyone would say.
Correct.
And now. Where would we go? But, even with Hillary, and what goes around comes around. I remember when she thought Obama was a nothing burger, the presidency was hers, and she lost and got crushed. And then, of course, for her to continue and make her move in the future, they had to make this deal with Obama to put her into the Secretary of State office. He didn't want to do it.
See, the reason she hatched this,
2 deputies under her.
The reason she hatched this plan against Trump is she feels the presidency is owed to her, and her time was 2008. They plotted against her, the Kennedys. They plugged in Obama and they took her presidency away in 2008. But they made the promise that in 8 years it'll be yours, and then Trump came down the escalator. I mean, they even skipped Biden. They even passed over Biden, the vice president, which is unusual, to give her the nomination. Then Trump came down the escalator, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And she felt totally entitled, and she's owed this. She's a very sick woman.
I love it. I'm glad you mentioned that because it was. If people put two and two together, it was supposed to be. Come on, you're sitting vice president. That was supposed to be automatic, like Bush after Reagan.
Yeah.
But they manipulated it and said, okay, Hillary, here you go. Because the biggest lie she ever told was, oh, she's not sure she's going for president. So, yeah. So when Trump beat her, that was like, yes, you crooked. What do you call her? Crooked Hillary.
Crooked
you
Hillary.
Crooked being. I mean, I was so happy. But then you see what she brought to the table. That's desperation. And remember, she threatened not to concede.
Well, what this Durham report shows us is the moment we got the name, this Julie chick, who's been identified, by the way, in some news accounts. I'm not sharing all of the information because I need it confirmed by some independent sources. But they've identified her, and she's got but we've got the name of the Hillary Clinton campaign aide who came up with the whole Russian idea. And then she went to Hillary with it. It's all detailed. And it's in this newly declassified information. It's amazing what we're getting here. It's absolutely amazing.
And that's why I have no respect for a lot of these leaders and supporters of them. I mean, I get it. Half the people out there don't get any information like you're sharing. They're in New York and they listen to all these other areas and they never get any information, no matter how true. But the ones that call in on your show and still try and divert and find some negative about the whole thing, they need to be ashamed of themselves because like I said, I mean, you talk about America here and our Republican. This is not right. I mean, you don't want to become a communist community and let them.
Yeah, you're right. I've been hearing from liberals since the first segment in the 6 o'clock hour. They've all been trying to divert me into some other discussion. Desperate, almost desperate. All right, Chris, thanks for the call. Good points as always. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, congratulations on your anniversary.
Well, it's Steve's anniversary, Frenchie, and Steve's going to be joining us after the time. Yeah, today begins the 49th year of the Steve Kane Show on the radio. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I've been listening to you for 10 years.
Turn down the volume in the background. Frenchie, you got to turn down the volume in the background.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
I don't want your compliments to be muffled. I want your compliments and everything heard.
Hold on.
No, it's okay.
There we go. How's that?
There you go.
I'm watching Newsmax on TV.
Shame on you.
Hey, the one person that I want to see them get the most is Adam Schiff. He has got the biggest hand in this. He told us so many lies that they got to get him. And I wish they'd get Mayorkas, too. He did a lot of damage.
Well, what we're finding, what we got in this declassified Durham report is so much new. We got a lot of new names. And organizations and people that we've never heard of involved with the Russia plot against Trump, which is good. And now we've got Barr involved in it since Durham handed him all this information, and he says, oh, they found nothing, inconclusive. So he lied. So he's a part. That means Barr was a part of it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Adam Schiff, and then we find out Wassam is involved in it. She's no good either.
Yeah, and don't believe what Andy Warhol said. There's no such thing as bad publicity. That's not true.
No. So just Trump's doing a great job. Tell him to keep it up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, maybe he heard you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Wayne from Tennessee.
Hey, Wayne. What's on your mind?
Yes, this Durham report. Would that prove that you think they did the same thing with the Mueller investigation? By classifying information, letting him not get
probably.
It out
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised because it's the same person overseeing it all. The Attorney General Barr was overseeing both this and that. So, So probably, I wouldn't be surprised. That'll probably be coming up down the road. They're releasing everything in a way to not overload us. They don't want to do document drops and nobody finds anything. They're doing it in a very coordinated. This is all planned. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Tulsi, the president, and the others. Listen, I'm out of time for the hour, but I hope to get the declassified Mueller stuff too. I'm sure we will.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Although there's already been stuff on the Mueller report that's come out. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with Steve Kane and more calls and more discussion. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Hey there. All right, you there? Okay, we got about 2 minutes. I'll put you on hold for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we got about a minute and a half. Okay, about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, boy. All right, the third hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And today begins the celebration of the 49th year of The Steve Kane Show on the radio. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, my goodness. 49 years starting today is the beginning of the 49th year celebration. and then a year from now will be the big 5-0. Holy smokes.
Yes, yes.
And we have the biggest news story ever in the
Yes,
I
know.
today.
Just pretend it's the end of or the beginning of Sean's show last night. That's where I passed out.
Well, I didn't watch Sean's show last night. I was, so I don't know what he did. I'm sure he was talking about this.
It was all breaking and all the latest news on the
I didn't watch
scandal.
any news last night, but I got all the news this morning. And
well, fill me in.
Well, I've been doing that for the last 2 hours, man. But we're finding out a lot of new things. And for those that are just tuning in, what happened was the director of the CIA, John Radcliffe, declassified all these the Durham Report. And he gave it to Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi, and Chuck Grassley. They have declassified everything. And they have released all of the documents of the Durham Report. And Chuck Grassley, he did something really cool. He summarized it all. And I spent the first hour and 50 minutes of the program reading through the summary, which I'm not going to do again because there's not enough time, and I already did it this morning. But what we found out was a number of things. One, John Durham, who was appointed during Trump's first term, found out everything they did in incredible detail. Everything. In the plot against President Trump. He had a couple of no-name charges that nothing happened with, but Durham found out everything in detail, the entire plot against the president. He took it to Barr, the attorney general, who said there's nothing to see here, and classified everything. And for the first time, we're seeing it. And there's a lot of new names we haven't heard of before that were a part of the plot, but it's not just, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, we knew all this. These people, no. We knew that the Russia thing was misinformation. But this is detailed with even timestamps and names on how it happened. And there's this lady, Julie, who is a senior advisor to Hillary Clinton in her campaign. She came up with, and everything is done in memos. They did everything in memos, and memos are done electronically through computers and everything. So they have all the documents. Everything is documented in memorandum between the different agencies. And this campaign advisor, Julie, that worked for Mrs. Clinton, she came up with the idea, well, let's say that Putin's got something on Trump. She goes to Hillary Clinton, shares it with Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton says, that's a great idea. Then Hillary Clinton calls the FBI up, and they say, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll start telling people this, before they did any investigation of the Russian collusion. And that's how it began. And then it was a slippery slope to more criminal corruption down the line. And what's starting to the other day, Tulsi Gabbard went. This is really bad for the left and the fake news media. Tulsi Gabbard was on with Jesse Waters earlier this week, and she said Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. And for those that don't know what Operation Mockingbird is, it's the deep state's operation coordinating with the American media to spread disinformation and narratives that the deep state once spread. So what came out in these newly declassified documents is also this, of how the Clintons, the FBI, and others, the Soros Foundation is named in this with people's names from that as well, started, after they came up with the lie, started spreading it to the media. And now what's happening as of this morning with dates, because the Durham declassified documents give us dates, now what's coming out are news accounts with people like Joe Scarborough and others, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. The day after they hatched the plan, they're on TV talking about Russia, Russia, Russia. It's bad for the left. It's all coming together, Steve.
And the thing that shocked me was when Soros' name came up. He was part of it.
Multiple times. Yeah, multiple times. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz is a new name to this. This was the first time we've heard her name with this.
Soros is a new name to it.
Yeah. So this is great stuff. I mean, it's now we have the evidence. And when President Trump said that Obama has presidential immunity, but the others don't, this is beyond Brennan, Clapper, and Comey. There's a lot of other people.
And the others are going to jail, from what I gather.
There's a lot of people that are going to be going to jail. A lot of them. And a lot of them are going to... This Julie woman that worked for Mrs. Clinton, they've already identified her. I'm waiting for some more confirmation on that identity before I go public with it. But she got some cushy jobs with Biden and everything, so she was paid well for her crimes. But there's a lot of these people are going to go to jail. I'm fine with Obama not going to jail and these others going, because, and I'll tell you why I'm fine with that. I think going after Obama would stop everything in its tracks. They'd make it a race issue. First black president, it would stop everything in its tracks, and these other people wouldn't be prosecuted. That's one. Okay? I'm not saying...
That seems like a fair... If we get everybody else, that seems like a fair proposition.
Yeah. I mean, we got to live with what we got. And, if you get these lower level people and they go to prison, another Democrat in the future is going to have a difficult time getting underlings to do their evil work because they don't want to go to prison like the Obama ones did. So it's a great deterrent.
What I want to know is Soros going to go to prison?
Well, there's a couple of people named inside of in the Durham Report that work for his foundation. They might, because they were very active in this throughout. Yeah. This is great stuff. I mean, it
would be worth it to nail Soros.
Yeah. I mean, this is amazing what's happening today. This is amazing. And I don't know how many liberals have called, but I've been hearing from liberals for 2 hours, and all they've been doing is trying to distract into another conversation. They don't want to talk about it. They're trying to stop us from covering this, and that ain't going to happen. All right, well, let's take some calls. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing? This is Maria from Florida.
Good morning.
Good morning, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
And Brian, how you doing this morning?
How could we not be doing incredibly well with all this great news?
Yeah. That's one reason I was calling. I just came from my walk-in, so I'm feeling really good now. But this is sad. I always knew that this was going on. I always knew it, but to have the evidence out there so everybody can know. And you know how many people's life was destroyed over this?
Mm-hmm. But, we're getting, this is the crazy thing. So Durham found everything.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and he gave it to President Trump's Attorney General, Barr, and Barr said, I've reviewed it. There's nothing here. And then he classified it. So that indicts, but that means Barr was a part of this coup.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he was protecting the institution. That's what I got out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they do, the deep state and the deep, to me, is real deep, because for these many years to hide this, and then you tried to make it look like it was real. To me, that's disgusting.
Oh yeah,
that is very disgusting to me.
And for anyone who says nothing's going to be done here, they're full of it. The way that the first release was 2 weeks ago today from Tulsi. And I'm trying to explain that this is being done in a very organized way. They're releasing some information, letting it sink in. They're building a narrative. When the government releases things and they want nothing to happen, they do the document dumps. They overload you with 1 million documents. They have been slowly releasing over the last 2 weeks in beats a little bit of information that they summarize. This is so Kash Patel was involved in this release. It's being so Bondi and Kash Patel have been doing their job. They've been working on this.
Yeah, they have.
They've been working on this
and
for
now,
months.
What makes sense for the first time? What makes sense for the first time this morning is the Bongino thing. Now we know what he was doing crazy over.
This is
when he
sick
thought it
stuff.
wasn't going to come out.
And it was deeper than we thought. What's amazing is is that Durham caught them all, and nothing.
Yeah, it's so bad because, like I said, it destroyed so many people's life, lawyers around the president, friends, and even his supporters. Half of them don't believe they believed it. And, some of the people I come across on social media, and then in my family, people around me that I'm around, they say, oh, it's true, Trump is just lying. I said, no, you're a liar. He's not lying. I said, you're going to burn in hell believing a lie like that. So I try to put it in respect. I try not to be too rude to people. Yeah. But if you come to me...
Well, Maria, we're going to run. Make sure you tell Reverend Dozier that Steve Kane and Brian said hello.
I be telling him all the time, but he don't want to hear.
He don't want to hear our hellos? All right, tell him. All right, I don't know what happened to Reverend Dozier. I don't know what happened. I drive by his church sometimes. Maybe I'll stop in someday. I want to talk to those of you out there that have neuropathy or have a member of your family that does. I don't have to tell you. It's the worst. And your doctors will tell you there's no treatment. That the burning, the dizziness, the falling down, the pain, the suffering, the tingling in the hands and feet, all that stuff, that's your life now. That's not the case. Lighthouse Medical in Pompano has a treatment for neuropathy that works and a treatment that lasts because, Steve, you had your neuropathy treatment 3 years ago with Lighthouse Medical, and here we are 3 years later, and it hasn't returned. It's amazing.
It's true.
And I know, it's something else. And Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy no matter where you're located. And in this era of telehealth, no matter where you're located, they can help you. So when I give out the number, no matter where you're located in Florida or the United States, give them a call. It works and it lasts. You're our test patient, Steve. but three, because the neuropathy is so bad, you're not thinking about, well, how will I feel in 3 years? You're thinking about how I'm going to feel in 3 minutes. You just want it gone, and we didn't really think about a long-term thing, but it's just something over the last 3 years we've come to realize. When you call Lighthouse Medical, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show, because then you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation, which they offer exclusively to our listeners. If they did free consultations with everyone, they wouldn't have time for patients. So you got to mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show to get the free consultation, okay? 754-222-6642, 754-222-6642, and online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. All right, you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay, about 90 seconds. Oh, man. They're so screwed. See, they're building up to the indictments and an arrest. That's why they're releasing everything so slow and beats, so people have time to digest it and process it. Okay.
It's being carefully laid out, that's for sure.
Yeah, by Trump. This is how Trump does it. He's overseeing the whole thing. All right, 30 seconds. All right, we're back. If you're on hold, stand by. It's a Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve's here. And this is the beginning of the 49th year today, officially. The beginning of the 49th year celebration of the Steve Kane Show on the radio in the state of Florida. And it's pretty exciting. It's like the president has started the 250th anniversary of the United States. Well, we're starting the 49th. It's a whole year of a celebration. Pretty exciting. I remember they made a big deal about Neil being on the air 20 years, Steve. That's nothing. 20 years. That's like an internship, right? Remember that? Remember, we were both on the Neil Rogers 20th anniversary show. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to give you guys, do this after 9. When Neil was on, Neil Rogers is who we're talking about. He I've told this before on the air, but if those of you that are new, you'll get a kick out of this. Neil Rogers had his 20th anniversary on the radio show, so they were having people on from the Miami radio market on the air to say, congratulations. Steve was there. They called you. They called me, and it was about 10:30 in the morning, but I was a young guy at the time, and I used to spend my nights in nightclubs. I was on the air overnights. So all the guys that ran the bars and the nightclubs listened to the radio station. So I had, I didn't make a lot of money, but I got free drinks and no cover charge at all the bars and clubs in town. So
and launched your great career.
Exactly. So Neil called me. They called me up at like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning to go on the air, and I was still tanked from the night before. So if you go online and find Neil Rogers' 20th anniversary celebration, you'll hear Steve Kane congratulating him sober and me intoxicated on the radio. All right. But you know what? I bring that up, Steve, because this is a time when we should have drinks and celebrate and toast. Justice is being done. The lawfare people. You know, before we go to the phones, I was telling you this during the break, Steve. They are building up to arresting people. It's been 2 weeks of carefully choreographed release of information in a beat format, building up to that. And I can tell by the way it's being done that President Trump's involved in this, because Who
do you think are going to be the first? Who would you guess would be the first to go?
I don't know. There's so many new names. Where people are looking is this Julie chick that worked for Hillary Clinton that came up with she was the one who came up with the whole idea. And I think that's a good person to start with. You know, when you go after people that aren't the household names, they don't have the protections. So you know what I mean? They're more willing to be cooperative. Yeah.
Well, we're in new territory. There's no question of that.
Hillary Clinton's in trouble. For the first time, I'm starting to think that the lock her up thing's going to become a reality. She doesn't have presidential immunity. And
it'll be interesting to see how active, we're in the beginning here, to see how actively Trump is going to get involved.
Well, when this happened, he's involved in releasing. Well, this is the thing. So Julie, her Mrs. Clinton's advisor, it's all in memos. They wrote everything down. They kept detailed notes. She wrote down that she had this great idea. They're losing to Trump. So let's just say that he's a Putin puppet. She goes to Hillary Clinton and says, Mrs. Clinton, I got this idea. Let's tie Trump to Russia. What do you think? And Hillary says, that's a great idea. Let me call my friends up at the FBI and make sure they go along with it. And she does it. I mean, it's crazy. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Stephen Bryan. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Good morning, gentlemen. Great day.
Oh yeah.
It's been a great week, but what a great day. You know, I've looked, looking at our government, maybe the past 20 years or so. I look at it as sort
when
of.
you say it's a great day, what do you think is going to come down today?
And you got to speak up, JJ. Talk a little louder.
Okay. Well, today, I think, Steve, today people are just kind of easing into it. I mean, I think everybody had a lot of assumptions about all these different things, and there's a lot of little pieces of new information. It's sort of like, Brian earlier in the show, Steve, he showed his cat, Pepsi, and it's a pretty cat.
Thank you.
It's sort of like somebody saying, I've got a cat in the garage. And that was before this information came out. You go out and you open up the garage door, and there's a 600-pound lion in there, or a 700-pound Siberian tiger. It's an explosion. The truth will set you free, sort of thing. Is this is just, it's so overwhelming. People don't realize how overwhelming.
Well,
it
yeah,
is.
JJ, I think the reason that everything is documented is because what they were doing was so illegal and grand. They wanted to have the mutual self-destruction option where everybody's documented and everything.
I think that's true. I think there's a lot of that going because the honor among thieves. Everybody, they're all watching each other and see who's gonna, who might tell on them, so to speak, and they ease those people out because the FBI. They investigate this political stuff to hide the information, to disappear,
That's
to
right.
classify it. They excavate the information, or they backfill information to fit their needs.
And the other thing I'm really enjoying about this is when they go through the timeline, it has dates, very specific dates, and then the next day, Joe Scarborough is on TV talking about what they just made up the day before, or Debbie Wasserman Schultz is saying that what they just made up. Everything is there. This is open and shut.
You can take the video of them years ago, and put it up against the information.
With the
It's
timestamps.
so
With
obvious.
timestamps.
With a timestamp, exactly. It is so. It's like it's like a perfect ending to a Criminal Minds or a CSI episode where they always get the bad people. And this is this is Custer's last stand, except Custer lives and it's MAGA. I mean,
How soon is this going to come down? How long before we see an arrest?
I think it's going to just be, Steve, that's a tough one to answer. I believe 100% there's going to be arrests. And
Yes.
I'm with Brian on Obama. I mean, I think having Obama, I believe it would suck.
They're not going to arrest Obama.
No, we don't want that.
Exactly. I think Obama's better off as sort of the piñata. I mean, they're all scratched up by this. I made this analogy the other day. The cat's out of the bag. They're all scratched up.
And the bag's in the river.
One of Obama's...
The cat's in the bag and the bag's in the river.
Yeah.
And the bag's in the river. Yeah, and every time one of Obama's or Hillary's, every time one of their people get charged, go to court, and found guilty, it's just gonna open up the wounds. It's gonna get to the point where Obama, if he goes out and talks anyplace, I want him to. I want Obama.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Yeah, maybe he'll go on. Maybe he'll go on Michelle's podcast.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
That's a perfect.
That's a perfect. You made an analogy the other day, Brian, about don't meet your heroes. I mean, but here's the thing with Michelle Obama. Everybody had this fantasy in their mind of who she was. And now they get to see, and through that podcast they get to see she's not what they thought.
No,
and the same thing is going to happen now with Obama. They they can see.
And her brother is like an overweight RuPaul without the humor or talent or likability. All right, appreciate the call, JJ. The rest of you on hold, hang in there. I want to talk about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's with the installation of your Sloman Shield. I want to highlight something. This is a limited time offer, and I'm extra highlighting that, guys. Okay, just to take note of that. This is a very limited time offer to get your free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, for a limited time, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call right now, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. All right, hold on. Okay, Steve, we'll be back in about just over a minute.
2 more?
No, just over a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on, put you on hold just for a sec. Okay. Hold on. Less than a minute. Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah. I wonder how fast it's going to break.
I don't know. No way to tell. I'm going to make a prediction about it when we get back. What they're panicking about.
Yep.
Okay, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. Stand by. Okay. Right now, as we speak, Steve, there's panic throughout Washington, D.C., right? Can we agree on that? Does everyone agree on that? Even liberals, right? There is panic.
We don't know how many people, but it's not that simple.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how many people that are involved know that this is coming down to that.
Well, they released this, the Chuck Grassley release from the Durham Report I went through, that came out yesterday morning after the show. So they know. And the ones that, believe me, they're panicked. I'm going to make a prediction, okay?
Okay,
now I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but this is one of the things that the co-conspirators are conspiring. And I bet you that we're hearing about all these things now. I bet you Kash Patel and Pam Bondi have wiretaps on half of these people at least whose names are coming up. So while they're making phone calls in a panic, what do I do? What do I do? It's all being surveilled, I promise you. There's a name that has not come up yet that had a big role in this, and I would imagine it's one of the names that did I lose you, Steve? I lost Steve. Hold on, let me see if I got Steve there. Oh, I lost Steve. I'm going to have to call Steve back during the break. There's a name we are not hearing, and that name is John McCain. And if you guys remember, John McCain was given the report, and John McCain by steal. And hey, hold on. Okay, I got Steve back. Okay. All right.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, Steve. So here's what's going on. Okay, the name that has not been mentioned yet, and this is one of the things that they're floating, the co-conspirators, John McCain, the late John McCain. Remember the guy they had 12 funerals for? And if you remember, Christopher Steele, when he made up the dossier, gave it to John McCain. John McCain gave it to Comey, and that led to a lot of this. Watch them start to blame John McCain for everything. Because he's no longer here. He's not here to defend himself. They're going to try to blame it on the dead guy. That's not going to fly. These people are as guilty as the day is long. Okay, Steve, we have every line on the board lit. You want to take some
calls?
All right, let's go to the jury of public opinion and find out what they think. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Brian, it's Lenny again from Coconut Creek.
Lenny, it's one call per show, one call per show. We got a full board, one call per, and he knows because he said, I know, but you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you today? Can you have a better story on the 49th anniversary of the Steve Kane Show than this? This is absolutely fantastic.
Well,
did you guys coordinate? Did you guys coordinate all this stuff?
President
it's
Trump.
amazing.
President Trump is a master of PR, and maybe so. Hey, I thank you, Mr. President, for the timing.
Well, I think we've all realized a long time ago. This guy is an exceptional intellect, and he's a genius. And to put all this together, one guy against everything is just amazing.
I mean, the news. Let me ask you, Brian. The new stuff that came out that I went over in the first hour and 50 minutes. The Durham got it. What are your thoughts on that? Durham had everything in detail.
John Durham. I remember when he was being mocked. When he would come on, I think on YouTube, I would see him on YouTube, and he would call himself the Punisher, and he'd have a little drink of scotch, and people mocked him. Oh, he didn't find anything. He's a nothing. Oh no. That guy's a fox. He is a brilliant litigator, and I think he's got him. The greatest thing is that all these guys are hanging themselves. Just like in the biblical event when they the story of Haman. They're all going to hang themselves.
Yeah.
I think William Barr needs to be checked out, too.
Oh, yes.
This idea that Durham would go in with this information, and he says there's nothing there. No, Mr. Barr, everything was there. And you just chose to ignore it.
See,
they
many
didn't, other people do.
See, by the time Barr did that, Trump was on his way of leaving. So they never imagined Trump would be back in office again. To have the authority to declassify all this stuff.
Not in a million years did they think this guy'd ever be back. They thought he was finished.
Now we know why they shot him in Butler. This.
Yeah. Wait till he announces he's running for a third term.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be a great story for the 50th anniversary of the Steve Kane show.
I'm wearing my Trump 2028 hat right now, so I wear it every day.
I'm gonna go a little bit further though. I'm gonna make a prediction, maybe out there a little bit. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, they're going down too. They're going to go down.
How do you figure with the presidential with the presidential immunity? How do you figure the president?
Well, I've heard that immunity, but I've heard oh my God, who's the guy on
Solomon
Fox?
Turley.
Jonathan Turley. Seems to be a little bit of question about that, but I think there's a lot more still to come out. A lot more that that cannot be ignored. That how these guys are operating.
Well,
these guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. Well, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, these guys tried to destroy our constitutional republic here.
Mm-hmm.
Our historical constitutional republic. I think they're going to answer for that.
Yep.
And I think those three, especially those three. I think they're all going to go down, and a lot of other people that we still haven't heard about yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is a gigantic, well, like they say, the biggest investigation of all time. And President Clinton, President Trump, the greatest president our republic has ever had, no doubt about it. The greatest intellect of any president we've ever had. But those three, I think they go down. I think they're going to go down with a bunch, and I think a lot more is going to come out about this stuff that we haven't even dreamed about yet.
Well, when you're
how many people can they include in this conspiracy?
Oh, I think quite a few.
I think 50
minimum
before the stability of the government begins to
50
be in question.
Easy.
I'm not sure the stability of government would be in question if we didn't get everybody. I mean, these are enemies of our constitutional republic that's been going on for a long time, including the legacy media people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those people got a lot to answer for, too.
See,
they try to cover all this up.
Is not the end. This is the beginning. See, when I was talking earlier about releasing information in beats, you release something, whatever the story is. You start with something good, big, but not the biggest. Then you release some things that are exciting, and you build up. But the final beat is the big one. So we haven't even gotten the big kahuna story yet.
No.
We haven't.
We'll probably get that on the 50th anniversary of the Steve Kane show.
I don't know what the big story is going to be. Kahuna? I'm not saying this is the big kahuna, but I think Pence is involved with them because Pence got Flynn fired. So I think Pence is involved.
I can believe that.
I think we both think that he was the mole in the first term of President Trump.
And I think now that we're putting everything together, I think he blew his cover to get him to get Flynn fired.
Yeah. And now they're going to all start singing like canaries too, and talking about this and that to try and get a deal in that. Mm-hmm. But we've got them. But those we can't stop. We have to go to the very top.
Yeah.
And I guess Soros, he's a big player in this too.
Well, there's two names that work for that open society, whatever thing he's got.
Yeah.
And they were involved, it looked like every step of the way. These two guys with that organization.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also expecting to hear from Durham himself. Because he's got to be very frustrated and really angry that they silenced all of his hard work and hid it.
Well, now it's all coming out, so he's justified now, and he's gonna look like a brilliant guy too. And I remember watching his interview, and he would always kind of quiet and stuff like that. But I always thought he had something big there. He just got shut down by Barr.
Well,
but now he can't be shut down anymore.
That's right. All right, take care. Good to hear from you. Thanks for
Have
the
a
call.
great one, guys.
All right, take care. All right, let's we'll take another one. What the heck? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Never Trumper Steve here in Palm City. Good morning.
Hey, Stephen.
Happy Taco Day. And my condolences to me and you, Brian. We're both avid coffee drinkers. It looks like our coffee price is going to go up about 50% because that's the Brazilian tariff.
See what I mean, Steve? The liberals don't want to talk about. The liberals want to talk about anything other than this. He wants to talk about coffee.
Topical.
Yeah, that'll be next. Epstein will be next.
Topical.
You're going to talk about Epstein next?
I don't want to talk about conspiracy theories. Well, we just had one for the last couple of years on the Epstein matter.
Okay. See, there it is, Epstein. Now we got Epstein. We got Epstein.
Don't want to release the files, right?
So you want us to talk about Brazilian coffee and Epstein?
I want to talk about the tariffs.
Oh.
Who pays the tariff, Brian?
Who pays the tariffs?
Who pays it?
See what I mean, Steve? We got the biggest story of our lifetime. Guys throwing everything out there.
Who pays the tariff? You and I, or the country, or the country?
You want them to
I want to talk about what affects our wallets. Conspiracy theories don't go anywhere. Okay?
Just be hold on, slow down. I know you want to talk about anything. Listen, this is the deal. Okay, conspiracy does not mean something's not true. Okay, this is a conspiracy of a lot of people that is very true, and you're trying to avoid it. And I'll say one thing on the big beautiful bill, but you're not getting us off this. Do you know, Steve, the big beautiful bill just gave every senior citizen on Social Security over the age of 65 $6,000? You got another $6,000 deduction, Steve. For
seniors. I brought that up to you.
Yeah, but you're not sidetracking us. This is a very true conspiracy.
I'm talking about the big beautiful bill.
We're not. Well, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about.
Tell your listeners that their monthly.
This is what I'm going to tell our listeners. I've got big plans this weekend, Steve. Big plans. I do.
Yeah, tell me that.
I do. I'm going to go buy some new jeans at American Eagle Outfitter. You know, the one that's in the news with the model, you know, with the actress, because my pants are falling off my body. I put so many holes in my belt, the belt's starting to go around my waist a second time, you know. So I need to buy some new.
Tell me about it real quick.
I need some new pants. So courtesy of Courtesy Weight Loss, you know, Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I need new pants. I'm very excited. I don't even know what my waist size is. I'm going to find out when I go to the mall this weekend. But listen, Coastal Weight Loss Secret, it not only does it work, I'm in the maintain phase now. I've lost more weight than I planned on losing. I'm where I was when I got married 29 years ago, weight-wise. I want to stay here. And because there were no big lifestyle changes, no drugs, no injections, no exercise, eating foods I would normally eat, I didn't have to starve myself. Now that I am in the maintain phase, I haven't gained back an ounce because I had no lifestyle changes. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And here's the thing. No matter where you're located in the United States, they can help you. Whether you want to lose 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 150, or 450, or anywhere in between, give them a call. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightloss.secret.com. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the Gold Report and then back with more of your calls after this. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. Hey there, hold on. All right, Steve, you there?
Yes.
All right, 1 minute, and then we got 1 minute. All right, hold on. I'm going to conference in William. Stand by. All right, William, we have 30 seconds. 30 seconds, guys. Hold on. All right, stand by, Steve. All right, and we are back. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian, and it's time for our final gold and precious metals report of the week from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated on the first floor of the Bank of America building in Boca. William Youngerman, how the metals ending up the week?
Metals ending up very strong, Brian. The jobs reports and things came out this morning that indicated some things were not as good as they thought in the economy. And gold turning around very much after we hit some nice pullback numbers this week, giving us some buying opportunities. And then things started to turn around yesterday with gold up $14.40 on the close at $3,288.70. Silver lost 43 cents yesterday at $36.63. Platinum was down $24 at $12.88, and palladium lost $26 at $11.93. But certainly things have turned around this morning on these reports. Gold trading in a range of $3,280 on the low all the way up to $3,340 on the high. And right now, gold's trading at $3,338.60. That's up $48.10 right now. $48 gain. Silver up 7 cents up 12 cents at $36.75 the ounce. Platinum up $3 at $1,290, and palladium up $7 at $1,203. So markets gave us a little buying opportunity this week. Those that took advantage of it certainly are pretty happy right now, I'm sure. But these markets can move quite dramatically on some of these reports.
Yeah.
And the indications are that maybe this will spring a rate cut in the interest rates going forward real soon. So that being said, the metals are doing very well and still the best safe haven for your hard-earned dollars.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what happens,
where we are.
No matter what happens with whatever report, gold is still money. You know, so and I don't care what happens. And you know, one thing you do, William Youngerman, that is very unique in your industry, that is so important for people to understand. If you could tell people about this briefly, you will buy back anything that you sell. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, we've maintained a good two-way market for all of the precious metals and anything, of course, that we sell, and have done so for almost 60 years now.
Yeah.
So anything that we sell, we guarantee, and we offer to definitely make a buyback on anything. Whatever the current market is, you can bring it back, and it's as easy as to sell it back to us as it was to buy it. Maybe even easier.
Yeah,
so,
and maybe even easier is right. Okay, now, and that's a good thing to know, and it's an unusual thing in your industry, and that's awesome. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can give him a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great weekend.
All right, take care. All right, well, it's a day of celebration, Steve, and I'm happy. You're happy. Everyone's happy, and the liberals are in a panic. I felt bad for Never Trumper Steve. I really did.
Yeah.
He's what he's doing. He's not so much trying to distract us from talking about this. He's trying to block this out of his mind, I think.
It's what's going on. It's what's going on now all the time on the media. For example, I don't even watch, the last couple of nights I haven't even watched Fox. I watch MSNBC. It is something to behold.
Oh, they must be freaking out.
These people are in deep trouble psychologically.
Well, what's their spin on this?
They're hysterical.
Well, what's their spin on this?
No sense.
This is Mrs. Clinton's emails and memorandums. How could they say that? What are they going to say?
Well, whatever it is, they're in big trouble, and all they want to talk about is Epstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Go
Epstein, and it's pathetic.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? I'll tell you exactly what I thought it was. I was watching last night. It's like if you've ever been in a situation where you're coming upon an accident, you're driving on the highway and there's been a major smash up, and you reach the scene of the accident and there's bloody bodies and body parts all over the road. And it's like so repugnant you have to turn your face away.
Oh, the rubber
You can't even look at it.
Yeah.
That's what they look like now. It looks like an accident.
Yeah.
The whole party is destroyed. They're incoherent.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything like it.
And I think Hillary Clinton is in big trouble, and I'll tell you why. What came out, it's not just that she's guilty like a lot of people are. She's an old lady who doesn't really have a role or influence anymore. Either does her husband. And this new release shows that she was the ringleader of the whole thing, right?
Well, you're forgetting one thing, though. Back in the days when she was burning her own memos by the truckload, talk about burn bags.
Yeah.
Back in those days, our buddy Donald got up and made an impassioned speech about not indicting the first ladies.
Well, we didn't know about this, though. We got new info.
That's true, but
that's
he
Steve,
doesn't want to set any precedents that Melania is going to have to live with.
That's before they shot him in Butler. You know, a lot's changed.
Well,
that's before they broke into his house. You know, they broke into Mar-a-Lago looking for this stuff. They thought he had all of these files that are being declassified now. That's why they broke in. Do you want to take any more calls?
Sure.
All right. Now, one liberal has commented on any of this today.
Well, I'm telling you, they're in shock.
The last guy wanted to talk about Colombian coffee prices. Oh my goodness! All right, let's let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Now, one liberal has commented on any of this today.
Well, I'm telling you.
Look, in the background, I'm hearing the greatest show in history. In the background, they're listening to. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay.
The reason you don't hear liberals wanting to talk about it because it's not going to get any traction.
Oh.
Y'all will try anything to get us off the main thing.
What?
Nobody cares about
What's
this.
What's the main thing?
Nobody.
Coffee? Epstein?
The main thing is that there's a man who slept with a 14-year-old. We'd rather hear about that.
Why? What are you, some kind of pervert? Who wants to? What are you, some kind of pervert?
Hold on, I think we got Brian. I think we got a scoop here.
Okay.
Tell me more about that. Who was that that slept with a 14-year-old?
Your president.
You just made that up.
You got proof of that?
You just made that up, you slanderer.
No, you don't, because you're an idiot.
He's in the fire.
All right, appreciate the call. See, Epstein, you know. They're basically what they're doing is they're
coming unraveled is what they're doing.
It's like, you know what, a little child, when they don't want to hear it, they put their hands over their ears. La 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 la. That's what they're That's what they're doing.
That's what you're dealing with.
Oh my goodness, liberal lunatics. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara.
I just want to thank you for a good show, and I want you to know that I've pulled out my old banner that I had made that says, "Lock her up." And I pulled out my other T-shirt that has Hillary with a scared look on her face, and Donald Trump is pointing to her and saying, "You're fired." I just love what's happening.
Yeah.
I can't be happier that finally, and I am going to put my Lock Her Up banner on my fence today before I go out and buy a pair of
American Eagle outfitters.
Can I ask you a question? You don't find it, I mean, when you say you're so excited about what's going on, you don't feel any pity for these people? I mean, they're really...
Pity?
They shot our president, Steve. They shot our president in Butler. I got no pity.
You know what? Exactly. And I was standing there watching when they shot my president in Butler. I have absolutely no pity for these people. They need to be drawn and quartered. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And everybody's thinking, oh, well, Obama's not going to get him. No, he's the president. There is no statute of limitations on treason.
Barbara, you were behind the president when they shot him in Butler. What was? Do you remember what your immediate thought was when you saw that the president was shot? You were there behind him.
Well, I didn't think he was shot.
Really?
That's why I'm standing there.
Really?
I thought it was firecrackers. I even said to Brandy. Brandy was sitting next to me. I said, Brandy, they let somebody in here with firecrackers, because I'm not accustomed to hearing the AR shots.
But you had to realize at one point he got shot. He was covered in blood and everything.
Yes, well, I didn't see the blood. I didn't see the blood.
Because you were behind him.
I got a text from friends of mine who were watching the rally.
Wow.
And of course, being the only black person in that middle right there, I looked like a fly in a bowl of milk.
Yes.
And they sent me a text. That's when I saw the blood, because they were bringing him down the stairs.
I got to tell you, we're almost out of time, but you're a historical figure because you're the only black woman behind the president when they shot him. I'm so
surprised he hasn't found it.
You're going to be in all the history books and documentaries and everything. Forever.
I'm surprised the president hasn't found me.
Well,
really
if he's listening, I'll tell him how to. Well, he'll know how to. If he's got people. All right, take care, Barbara. All right, take care. So if you go back to the shooting, you can see Barbara. She's the only black woman behind the president. Oh boy! All right, let's try one more, Steve. I probably shouldn't. We only have a minute left. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. 30 seconds. What's on your mind?
IB and Broward, long story short, hey, variables, they can't predict the future.
Okay, all right. See, I told you I shouldn't have taken the last call, Steve. This is a great day. I'm a little giddy, I know, because this is exciting. All right, well, we are beginning the 49th year of the Steve Kane Show on the radio today, and hopefully every show with the 49th year will be as good as today's. Today's fantastic. If you missed the first hour of the program, in particular the first hour and 50 minutes, make sure you guys go back and watch and listen to that. I broke down everything that broke and that was declassified yesterday in incredible detail. You will not want to miss that. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. And, oh, man, this is only the beginning, guys. We're going to get more stuff. I can't wait to hear more liberals in denial on the program next week. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. See you Monday, 6 a.m. All right, guys, we are clear. I got to run, but make sure you subscribe if you are new. And, of course, also like the video if you're already subbed, if you don't mind, and share on your socials, too. All right? Take care. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. See you next time.